It's a lot that has transpired over the last couple of weeks. I hope you guys had time to read and watch the videos, especially that Bill Belichick one. I think that was a real eye opener, and it could give you insight on really how this game is played, the game of life and the game of business. I hope you guys had a good a break and time to ponder, generate revenue, get better. We got a good class tonight. We got a really good class. I hope you guys got your seatbelts on. We're gonna take it to a couple layers. I don't know what is going on, but this is beautiful in here. I just got in a better mood for some reason. So name of tonight's class is called Getting Serious. And we're just going to get into it. Getting serious. So let's start with slide 1. So not sure if this has been reiterated, but we're going to go over dead time versus alive time. So the concept of dead time versus alive time. So everybody has 24 hours. Everybody. No human being gets privilege of having more than 24 hours. So what's the difference between us, me, you, and whoever else is in this world at whatever scale they're in life? What's the difference? So how come some people can achieve crazy amounts of shit in their life and others can't do much, but we all got the same 24 hours? So there's a lot of reasons, but one of the variables that we want to talk about in this class is talking about dead time versus alive time. Because we know time, most precious asset that we have, right? We all agree on that? It's more valuable than money. Way more valuable than money. So since time is most valuable, we're going to break it down into two components, dead time versus alive time. Next slide. Dead time. So, go ahead, Shakina.
Dead time equals passive waiting, traffic, a job. You hate being stuck.
So, dead time can mean you're passively waiting. You're stuck somewhere. You at DMV. You stuck in traffic. Or you just basically at a job you can't stand. You can't quit. You can't quit right now. Got to do it. There might be times in life, in pockets or in moments of time that you're stuck. What's a lifetime?
A lifetime equals intentional growth during those same moments.
So what certain people do is that they know how valuable time is, so they invest in those moments to where they make the most out of every opportunity. So your 24 hours don't look like mine. Your 24 hours don't look like mine. Well, you get to do this and I'm stuck at this dead end job. Nope. That's not a good enough excuse. Like, you have to look at time like it's the most valuable thing on this planet. And how can I invest my time and put energy into it to where every hour counted? I grew in an hour. I got better in an hour. I rested in this hour. I learned something in this hour. I proved something. I got a nugget in this hour. I did something to where I cashed out something in this hour. You know what I'm saying? I used to have this, let me keep this shit all the way 100. I used to have this job. I was a weed trimmer. So I would sit for hours making stupid low amount of money trimming weed. And I get paid for every pound that I trimmed. You talking hours upon hours of just sitting there fucking trimming. Listen to all these fake gangsters talk about how hard they is and all these fake street stories. So I would put on my headphones. You know what I'm listening to? Audio books. I don't fucking know. They think I'm listening to Too Short. I'm listening to audio books, how to improve my situation, how to manage my time better, how to be successful, how money works, how to bounce back from adversity, how to have better emotional agility. So guess what? That 8 hours I spent getting paid, I just learned like 7 powerful things that I wrote down on the side that I'm going to implement tomorrow. You think I lasted a long time at that job? No. Because I had figured out things to level myself up. I'm out of there. Because I used my dead time and I infused it with a live time. If you standing in line, there's things you can do to infuse it with a live time. If you at a job that you hate, there's things you can do to infuse that job with a live time. It's too many to name, but when you get creative and then you can figure it out and you realize you ain't got to waste nothing. You don't have to waste any kind. It's almost like you just prepared. You sitting in traffic, find some ways to resurrect that time and infuse it with a live time. There's no excuses. No excuses. So this is, if you really, really pay attention, it's a game changer. Because if you look back at your life and you realize, damn, I'm not where I want to be. But I worked so hard and I gave it my all. A lot of times, you wasted a lot of dead time. And you could have infused it with a live time to accelerate where you want to be. It's the absolute truth. What are you listening to? Do you always gotta have the TV on? How much social media are you on? How much Instagram you on? How much Facebook you scrolling through? How much any of that you watching? Because as you're gonna learn where he talks about competition, is somebody else who's in your lane who wants to do the same business you doing that's getting it right now. They going after it right now. They disciplined right now. They reading right now. They learning right now. They going after it. They trying to change their bad habits right now. They trying to throw shit out that don't work and bring in things that do right now. And they going to be your competitor. So do you want to leave that to chance or not? It's up to you. Dead time. So how are you using your dead time versus your lifetime? Now, when you're taking a break or you're taking a vacation or you're intentionally relaxing, you don't want to think about any of that shit. That is intentional, right? That you're intentionally unplugging from the world. Like, I'm taking a break, taking a vacation, taking a day off. But when you calculate all your time, now this doesn't mean multitasking. Because multitasking ain't good. So don't confuse this with multitasking. Multitasking is you got 5 things going on at one time because you're trying to save time. That's not smart. And I know it's confusing, but that's not smart because you're giving like D pluses and C minus to all those things. But Dead time and alive time is me. When the time is dead and you can do the thing with 20% of your energy or less, and you got 80% of energy to just fuck around with, you're going to daydream, you're going to just pop in some music, you're going to turn on the show, or you're going to find some alive time. I don't got time to work out. But you got all this dead time. You could have knocked out 500 push-ups during that Zoom call. You could have ran on a treadmill during that stupid thing you was doing that didn't mean much. That's how you really multiply the effects of your life. Yep, you could have did sit-ups while this was happening. You could have did push-ups. You could have, while you were doing that dumb thing that took 10% of your energy. That's dead time versus. So now you know why some people are like this and you like this. It's not because they're smarter than you or better than you. It's they took more advantage of the dead time than you did. You let it be dead. Like, what else can I do here? Because I'm only running 10%. What can I do to get better right now in whatever area? Even if it's just praying and talking to God. Even if it's just praying. But value your time. Value your time. Please value your time. That's going to separate you. Kobe Bryant said this, and I'm not saying to do it, but it proves his point. He was saying, if you wake up at 7 o'clock, go to the gym to practice. You might have saw this. Go to the gym to practice. Practice from 8 till whenever. You come home, 10 o'clock, you shower. You eat, you relax, you go back to the gym at maybe 3 o'clock. Get another 2 hours in, come home around 6 o'clock, you eat, and you got in 2 a day. That's good. He said, I wake up at 3 something. I'm in the gym at 4. Get mine in. Come home, rest, eat breakfast. We go back to the gym together. When you at gym at 8, I'm at gym at 8 too, but this is my second time. Then we go back together. There's 2 days. I'm done. You worked out twice. It's my third workout. Then I go home. I come back and I do another workout. I work out 4 times a day to your 2. He's like, this is what Kobe said. At a certain point, I'm so far past you. There's nothing you could ever do. There's nothing you can ever do to catch up to me. Never. Because I've compounded so many workouts than you that you be 60 by the time you catch up and our careers are over. Same thing in business. So if I say, hey, I read 30 minutes a day, some kind of business book, some kind of spiritual book, some kind of mental book, 30 minutes a day. And if you say, oh, I read every once in a while, once a week, it's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. You fucking play the lottery. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing, because there's so much to learn. Because the more you read, the more I read, the more I realize how much of an idiot I am, how much of a dummy I am, how much I don't know. So I can't imagine not. So I'm like a little kid, like, whoa, did you know this? This is fucking amazing. And I do it every time. And it makes me realize, man, bro, you don't know shit. So imagine not having that discipline and just thugging it, thinking my common sense and my GP principles is going to take me there. No. dead time versus alive time. Now, how crazy do you want to get with it? It's up to you. How disciplined you want to get to? Up to you. But it's something to consider, especially if you're in a race to get back. If you're in a race to get back or to get up or to get in a winner's circle or to get your funds and money up, man, then how serious do you want to be with it? So somebody asked me over the weekend, like, when was the last time you smoked weed? Last time I smoked weed was maybe 10, 12 years ago. And they said, why'd you stop? I said, I don't got nothing against weed. But the issue with me was I am a better person not than on. I am a more efficient and effective person sober than high. That's it. So that math equation, even if it's 20% better, over time, that compounds. Over time, it compounds to a number that, so I'm just a better person. I'm a more effective person. So other people may have other response, but me personally. So I had to make a choice because that 20% is 20% dead time. So I need that back. Nothing promised. Success ain't promised as an entrepreneur. So I need all the advantages that I can get in this pursuit. All the advantages I can get. So when drinking became on the chopping block, fuck that too. Bye. Not because I got a problem with alcohol, because me personally, I'm better without it. More alive time. More alive time. I got partners who are Energizer Bunny after they smoke. Me, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I'm on the couch. I'm out. I'm a lazy fuck when I'm weak, when I'm high. Fuck that. And it lasts 2 days. It's not like it's gone after 2 hours. I'm slow for 2 days. That's dead time. Plus them fucked up ass great ideas that I have that once I'm not, it's not a great idea no more once you flush it out. So I'm always seeking a lifetime and trying to minimize dead time. Where in my life is the dead time? Now, you can be so over the top with it that you're trying to maximize every inch. I'm not saying doing that. I'm saying step back and look, where's my dead time? Where's my lifetime? And you'll be surprised if you mapped out a day, how much dead time you actually have.
Let me add something to your point. Mashama was having a conversation that he had with Kai, and he told us, he's like, "Yeah, I taught my son entropy," and we all said, "Wait, how do you teach your son entropy?" And entropy is this rule that if you just leave things alone, it would eventually move to disorder or death. And what I've noticed from people who graduate from school, they say, "Oh, I have this degree," but they're not growing that degree. So that degree is already dead or is already in disorder. I also noticed about Hope students. I've seen some Hope students I watch online. When they joined the class and they was practicing every week, you saw them climbing the hill. Mm-hmm. As soon as they got comfortable and started like, "Oh, I read when I want to read," or "I get back to it," or "I get in class when I get some time," or "I stay engaged when I have some free time," and you just watch them slowly but surely, they gravitate back to that death and disorder, where they were. Not death and disorder as if they're going to die,
Right.
but this entrepreneur that you're becoming starts to die if you're not investing in it at all times. So this whole assumption that if you reach a certain height and think, "Oh, I'm supposed to be here and I'm going to be here forever," you don't realize it's a principle called entropy that says once you stop practicing, deterioration and death will follow.
Absolutely.
Can I tap
Nick.
in?
Yep.
I had posted a thing on this in the group earlier. This last month, we had interns at my gym for 5 weeks. And I realized after having them how much dead time that I had throughout my day that I was unconsciously turning into a live time. And it took me having interns to realize how much distraction they were from how those 10, 15, 20 minutes would contribute to my company's efficiency and productivity, because when I'd be in between clients, I would be like, oh, okay, I'm going to tweak this system, adjust this, and push this. And when you have 5 consecutive weeks where you don't have that, you can really get the compounding effect of what it looks like when you actually don't maximize that time. So it was just a really great, like, oh, that's it right there. That's what compounding dead time looks like.
So the word compounding dead time, like life is math. Life is math. And anything we think is, this is my philosophy, and it could or could not be true, but I believe it, is that anything that we think is chaos and random, we just may not know the equation yet. Because life is math. So compounding is serious. And if you don't, you should, the absence of compounding, and compounding should be the boogeyman in the background of you all the time, to be like, damn, what am I not compounding? Or what can I be compounding? Because those two things are incredibly powerful. Incredibly powerful. So I like that word entropy too. That's dope. Next slide.
You can't control the situation, but you can control your response.
So, sorry, I'm just took me. So here's another one. Is a lot of times entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs think success is control. They associate success with control. I got all my employees. You do this, you do that, you do that. Yeah, I got everything under control. It's not true. Entrepreneurship is not control. It's too many variables to play the control game. Now it's true that there are perfectionists that are entrepreneurs that have the illusion of control. And you might have worked for some. It's not fun to work for people like that. To where they believe in their perfectionism and the illusion of control. Because they everything got to change about you. You can't come in like that. You got to do this. But true entrepreneurship is knowing what you can control and controlling that. Because sometimes situations happen and you say, well, I wish the situation wasn't like this way. Or I want the situation to do this. Fuck that. The name of the game is what is your optionalities around a situation that you can control. The game of optionality, the game of options really revolves around the things you can control. I can't control you, but I can control my influence. I can control how influential I am. See what I'm saying? I can't control you, but I can get better. I can get stronger. I may not be able to control what happened to me, but I can control my response. I can control what happens next time. So once you relinquish trying to control others and control situations and really control yourself, bring the control back to who you are, what you can do, you'll see situations change. But we have a blind spot around perfectionism and the desire to control people and situations. What can you control? Get better. Get stronger. I don't know if it was that podcast or another one where it was saying, if you're working hard but you're not getting the outcomes you want, you ain't working hard. You ain't working hard. You have an illusion of working hard. Your perspective is that you're working hard based on your perspective, but you ain't. Best thing to do is, okay, well, what can I do to get better? A lot of us wish for the situation to go away. Well, please make the situation go away. Some of us pray to God to remove the situation instead of praying for God for strength to get better so that you have the ability to handle it. Because guess what? Another one is going to come with similar strength. So then you got to go back to the prayer again. Oh, yeah, I need another one. When you could have got the strength to be able to handle anything that comes your way that's similar to that.
Can I add on? You taught a class when you were talking about your comfort zone, and the further out that you go into it, the more, let's say, pressure that you apply, the bigger your ring expands, so that the next situation that comes up, you're constantly evolving. And it makes me think about, I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, and they are working hard, but there's so many variables to working hard. And I think about the term of smarter, not harder, because you could be working really hard at something and you're taking the wrong path. And it doesn't mean that your effort is not valid. It just means that you're doing the wrong thing to achieve the result. And so just making a proper alignment so that you don't end up defeated because you're not taking the right actions.
Yeah, I'll add something to what you said, though. And this is truth. It's keeping it 100. Some of your effort ain't valid. Your effort, if you were supposed to go right and you went left, your effort wasn't valid. Shit was dumb. It was a dumb move. Did I waste my time? Yep. I hope you was listening to a podcast when you went left, because that's some dead fucking time. So
I knew you jump on that too. That's a different mindset you're arguing. That's a worker's mindset. Like if you sit amongst a group of employees and somebody said that, everybody would go, amen. If you amongst individuals who are managing agency or in a competitive environment, if you have a team that has practice every week but they lose every game, and they swear to God they're doing the best they can, right?
It don't matter.
You're not doing anything, right? It's like, because so working hard is subjective, and if you want to make it objective, you have to tie it to an outcome. You can't tie it to a feeling. Otherwise, you're all over the place based upon the diversity of people you're talking to.
Yeah, the wild that we're in is objective, because the end goal is money, real money you got to make, and money you got to pay people to help you. So everything before that has to be objective too. So I've said that to employees sometimes when they told me, well, I'm doing the best I can. I say, what if I said that on the first and it was time for you to get paid? You wouldn't want to hear that shit, right? Just like I don't want to hear this shit now. We have a standard. We got to meet the standard. If we can't meet the standard, we got a problem. Because just like I have to come through when it's time, you got to come through to the standard. So that's why I altered that, is because in the wild, if you're supposed to go right, you got to go right. And I'm not going to say, well, good job. You went left for 300 miles and you didn't read the directions. Good job. No, we got a problem.
So I like what you said about people have to meet the standard. But I wonder, how does that link back to controlling the situation? Because in order to meet the standard, there has to be an agreed upon standard. So for example, there have been recent instances where I'm doing a contract or some business with someone, and I'm like, I need a performance guarantee or a service level agreement. Like, we need to build that into the contract. So if you don't pay me by a certain date, you have to increase my payment by 15%. If I don't meet my deadline by a certain date, you get to decrease my contract by 15%, right? Or if I email for some kind of technical support, y'all have to respond to me within 72 hours, or there's something in the contract. But that could be viewed as trying to control it. But if you don't create a standard, what are we meeting?
I fuck with you.
Oh, okay, good.
I fuck with you. Like, yes. Like, situationally, I don't care how you see it. That's not controlling. That's creating a contract that's on your side, that benefits you and also benefits the other side. Yeah. There's nothing. Like I said, this is the wild. And it's up to the other party to negotiate that contract their side. It ain't about feelings. It's about negotiating to get to the best place that's a win-win for you and protects you and the other party.
Question. When I heard her ask the question, my brain assessed that as it depends, because depending on how it's positioned, that could come off as hyper defensive and be too much of a friction zone. From the perspective of a business trying to acquire a new relationship, like, you kind of have a space where there's like a give and take on how you want to position yourself to set the client experience. What are the factors that would be important to think about as you're creating that contract so that it doesn't come off as a lot of friction on the front end, but you can still protect yourself and your client experience?
I think you're merging client experience with contract with business to business. So she's saying where she's going is business to business, and then where you going is client. So that's those are two different experiences. If you want, now, do you have to engage with clients and sometimes have them create contracts? Sure. You do it all the time when you go to a website, when it asks you, do you want us to sell your cookies? And you say, go ahead because you're busy. But if you were to pop that contract up, it would be foolproof to their side. Like, you engage in contracts all the time. The car you bought, stone cold contract. It's not friendly and nice. It's a stone cold contract that protects them. When you wrote the lease for your apartment or where you live, it's a stone cold contract from business to consumer. Now, how you soften it up between the time it gets in your hands and for you to sign it, that's up to you and your sales skills. Okay. But when it comes to paper and contracts, now you're in negotiation. You in the game. So it's up to you to read it and say, hey, I'm not comfortable with this one. I redlined it for you. Now, if we really like each other like that and you value the relationship you have with me, then we're going to go back and forth and find win-win solutions that make me feel good and you.
Well, but it would change based on size. Because if you wrote me a contract like this and you're only paying for $500 or $1,000,
that's different.
I'm not fucking with you.
Yeah,
I'm going to look at you because business has trust baked into it. But if it's like $500,000 or up, or some real numbers on the table, even for some businesses, maybe a couple $100,000, and there's a lot of moving parts, the contract has to identify those moving parts, right? But if it's something like, yo, let's do this project together, and it's $500 on the table, and it has all those stipulations, I'm going to just do this right in front of you. I'm out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm doing that.
Absolutely. Next slide.
The disease of me.
It's good.
The disease of me. When a baby's born, survival's built on absolute selfishness. Baby will not live if it's not absolutely selfish. So it's taught, it learns early that I don't care what's going on, it's all about me. I don't care if we're in church, I don't care if we're anywhere. If I'm hungry, I'm crying. If I'm thirsty, I'm crying. If I took a shit in my diaper, I'm crying. If I'm sleepy, I'm crying. I don't care where I am. It's about me. Look at me. If I want to laugh, I'm laughing. The baby gets rewarded for being the most selfish. So everything, all eyes are on the baby. So we learn very young that it's all about me. All about me. So we get good at it. And any dumb little thing we do, the people around us make crazy noise over it. Oh, look, he just said, Dad. Oh, my God. He just took one step. Oh, my God. So we like, yeah, shit, this is dope. Look at what else I could do. Another word. Then guess what? Slowly but surely over time, it goes from, oh my God, to, that's good, to, hey, I'm busy right now, move out the way. And the kids is like, what the fuck happened? Like, then it's, stop being so selfish. It's not about you right now. What? It's been about me my whole life, and now you're telling me it's not? I'm confused as fuck. Then you go to school and you gotta sit and you wanna talk, you gotta raise your fucking hand? What? So now you just got rewarded the first 5 years for being all about you, to now it's bottled up instantly and you get in trouble. I'm talking right now. You gotta wait. I'm busy right now. So now you immediately bottle that me up. 5 years old on. But it's down there and it's a fire ready to go, and it knows it works. Like, I know this works. So any opportunity we get growing up, it pops out. Well, what about me?
So good, so good.
What about me? Well, what about me? Well, how does that apply to me? Well, one time I did this. Well, that's dope, but I don't want to do it for myself. I could do that. We could, like, you're not better than me. Well, like, I want that. Me. So it's, you grow up just me'd out. It's all about you. You don't think about nobody else, and you got suppressed instantly because most of the time we weren't taught how to transition from me to we to share to others. We didn't get taught that shit. So it just goes from me to shut the fuck up and sit down. Say that one more time and get the belt. Like, it's quick. So now as an adult, it's still down there. So this is real talk. A lot of entrepreneurs built their business on the backs of a me.
Come on, man. This is strong.
Not how can I serve the community? How can I serve the world? How can I serve my people? How can I serve? It wasn't a how can I serve. It was how can I be that motherfucker? How can I be? Finally get the me that I've been looking for.
This is spiritual.
So now we think all I gotta do is blow this business up. And I'm gonna get all the recognition, love, all the me that I think I deserve. It's a disease. It's a fucking disease.
Come on, bro.
You can't even let a person tell a story without, well, one time I did that too. Well, you got shot. Well, I got shot too. God damn, can I tell the story? Hey man, I had something good happen. I made something good happen too. It can't even. is so fired up in you, you can't even resist it. You can't even hold back. It just jumps. It's a disease. Remember that. Our wealth and our power and our revenue and our influence comes from how much we give, not how much me we are, how powerful we are, how popular we are. Fuck that. It ain't about us. If it's about you, you just get enough what you need to take care of yourself and your family. But if you want to build big shit, put yourself aside and make it a we. How can I serve you? Not me.
This is so big. Hey, bro, first of all, I hate you so much because this is one of the lessons I took out of my lessons. I wanted to talk about this tonight. I hate you. I don't know how this is happening. That there's so many things we could talk about, right? How do we keep landing in the same space? It's crazy. It's not like we're on the phone every day, talking every day, sharing our ideas. It's like we are breaking to each other once a week or talk once a week, and then this is crazy. First of all, this movement started in the 60s. The Me movement started in the 60s. And the Me movement has caused more damaging to parenting. It's the worst form of love there is. Narcissistic love is the trashy ass love. The Me movement also is the worst form of marketing there is. This is how Me marketing sounds. I have the best products around. That turns customers off, as opposed to a language that speaks towards the customer or serving the customer or finding what the customer needs. And there's businesses who have just been well positioned and got away with this selfish ass tone. But the narcissism destroys so many different things in this world that's human, and it's so under discussed. Do you know like the mental health that you're seeing climb in a lot of our youth, anxiety and depression, and also children inability to, even adults ability to have kids or connect with their kids, is because they were abandoned by parents who was all about them, who said, I gotta make my money over everything. So then you got so used to being abandoned that it was time for you to have a kid. You don't have that same connection because it was stolen. Because in a sense, it's a pattern. So narcissistic parenting causes depressed, anxiety, and disconnected kids. This shit is this.
Yeah.
You hitting, man. There's so much business shit here. Like if you go through business principles, it pops up in many areas that compromise a lot of strategy. Is the disease of me.
Yeah. Here's another one. The reason why a lot of your products can't get off the ground because you made it for you.
Come on, there you go.
You thought about you so much that you thought because you so dope and you so fresh and that your ideas are so tight that the whole world gotta like it. So you didn't do no market research to know what other people wanted, because I don't think about other people. I only think about me.
And most people think like this.
A lot of people think like it. So you're stuck in your business not knowing why your products can't sell. Because you're still in the disease of me.
Do you know the famous, marketing is about exploiting stories, right? It's all about stories. What's the most famous story there is? The hero's journey. Because everybody thinks they're a hero of their own story. You can easily use this against people. Because if I know that's all you think about is yourself, I can just frame things and make it about you, and you'll miss that I'm manipulating you all goddamn day. Come on, man.
Yo, so check this out. When women start getting marketed to, when they first started marketing to women, you know what they appealed to? The me in you. I know you work hard. It's all about you. You deserve a break. Let Calgon take you away. You do for everybody else. It's time for you. It's time for you. Here's a MasterCard. Like, you deserve it. Spend the money. Marketing start attacking women's me inside of them. And they rush to the stores. I need that clothes. I need that purse. I deserve this purse. I deserve this. I deserve.
Come on, man.
So yes, use it against you. They use it against all of us. YOLO, you only live once. That is basically a fuck it button for you. My rent's due. I only got rent money. YOLO, fuck it. I'm doing this for me.
That's correct.
I deserve this. So we're getting played by this. We're getting played by it.
You can't do long-term planning without this.
You cannot. You know what also the disease of me happens to? In relationships.
Come on.
A lot of us don't want a partner. We just want to look good for Instagram. We don't want a marriage. We just want the wedding because of me. I get to be the center of attention. This disease of me is everywhere. Some of us don't even want to raise a child for 18 years. They just want the kid so that they can dress them fly, and because it's about them. Like, this shit is so important for us as human beings and us as entrepreneurs. The secret sauce to entrepreneurship is how can I serve you? Nothing to do with me. How can I serve you? That's the secret sauce. And there's no way you can get there if you have this disease. No way you could do it. You can't even say it. What would you say? How could I say? What? Next slide.
Winning often leads to ego. People start thinking they are the reason for success.
So we all want to be winners, and being a winner is good. But you have to know the pros and cons, and you have to know what's coming. I don't know if you ever shot hoop, and you in the game, you feeling it, you hit a 3-pointer, pop, cool, hey, that felt good. Come back, somebody pass it to you again, you hit it, pop, 2 for 2. Clean, all right, cool. I don't want it no more because I don't want to mess up my record. But somebody pass it to you again, boom. You like, what do you say? I'm hot. Yeah. Once you say I'm hot, it opens a whole mental can of worms for your ass. So now you like this. Give me the ball. I'm hot. Pass it. What are you doing? I'm hot. You see, I'm hot over here. Coach calls, what you doing? You see, I'm hot. Why you didn't pass me the? Now you become egotistical. God forbid you hit another one. Shit. Now guess what you're doing? Celebrating on the sidelines. It gets worse every time. Hit another one. You looking in the camera. I'm him. Right? Because the energy of it starts to envelop you. The wise person knows that it's coming, tempers it every time. They got a routine to temper it. It's not that it doesn't happen to those ones who knock 7 threes down in a row or 13 threes down in a row. It's not like Dame Lillard don't have that in him bubbling forth. He just learned to tamper it down every time. And what did he give you? This. That means I don't celebrate because I do this every fucking day. What am I doing celebrating? Game ain't won. Championship ain't won. MVP ain't won. We got a road ahead. This is just one bucket. Tampering. So it's not that, well, some people winning leads to it. No, that is an energy that will bubble the fuck forth. It's some people have tools to push it back down. Nope. No. Long game ahead. So that I can be in the moment this next shot. I need to be in the moment. Concentrate. You busy celebrating. Now you screaming at the camera. pounding your chest saying you him or her. And it will get worse until you miss, because you've allowed that one make to start growing inside you. Same thing in business. Winning in business is the same thing. Sometimes you'll get, if you don't tamper that, you will have the psychology that you can't miss. Everything you do, no. And so I want to get into some Ego as the Enemy books today. And that's where we're starting. Is that you got to tamper that down, no matter how you feel. Because you know winter's coming at some point. So if you know winter's coming, you're just sowing seeds. Life is a game of runs, like sports is a game of runs. Eventually, everybody's going to have their run. So your goal is to maximize your run so that when they have their run, it doesn't compete with your run. You still win the game. Next slide.
The innocent climb is followed by the disease of me. Pat Riley.
So this one is a very, 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 very interesting one because it takes time to evolve. So here's an example. Say you have a person who's, super humble. Hey, Nana, man, I just love what you do. I would love to just sit up under you. Can you mentor me? Sure, I'll mentor you. I'll give you some game. Meet me here. Okay, yeah. Here, I brought you some stuff, Nana. Cool, and you start feeding game. Then over time, some success happens. The person starts seeing some success. And seeing things shift from where they are to where they are now. So that's called the innocent climb. Humble. Man, that dude's so humble. I love teaching that dude. He's so humble. Then you start getting a little bit of success. So then Nana's like, yo, so X, Y, Z. Yeah, but no, I listen though. Oh, I see little butts coming out. Some butts are starting to come out. That's the he just hit 2 shots in a row. You see what I'm saying? But now he's quote unquote on fire. Nah. Hey, let me holler at you, man, about something. Let me talk to you about your business. X, Y, and Z. Well, that ain't it. Well, that ain't. I'm hot. Basically, I'm hot right now. The fuck you telling me what to do? I'm hot right now. Can't you see I'm hot? Come on, bro. Your form is still fucked up. You just hitting every shot. And as a coach, I'm trying to get you to line your elbow up to the rim so that you can stay on point. You trying to change my shit now? Then you become uncoachable because of the disease of me. So sometimes it takes a while. It could take years, 2 years, 3 years to sit back and observe somebody do the innocent climb and convert from the innocent climb to the disease of me. So then it's like, all right, well, you got it. You know it. You know it all. Go ahead. Then guess what happens? You start missing and you don't know why you was missing.
Come on, there you go now.
The fuck?
Come on.
My shot what's happening? What's going on? So but because you hit 7 in a row before, you're going to shoot like that every time, trying to go back to that, not realizing that you were just off a percentage of 0.5% and shit was falling. Not realizing that you weren't in control of the best version of your shot and you had somebody watching you, but you let the innocent climb turn yourself into the disease of me. We will lose as a culture if we can't shake out of that. You start humble, you stay fucking humble. Start humble, stay humble. Start where you start where you end. Because the game is so vast, there's no amount that you can learn in a fucking lifetime that can make you think you hot. Fuck, we are growing and expanding, but we got ways to go and many people to learn from. And why would I cut off a source that has helped me get this far? Disease of me. Disease is damn near cataracts too, because it'll fucking blind you.
Come on, dude. This is so real.
To blind you. And the cold part, the sad part, is a lot of times you end up demonizing or talking shit or dogging the person who helped you get to where you are later in life because of that same disease.
It's so real. It's so real. Just, bruh, I'm trying not to say nothing. I promise you, I really am trying not to say nothing. This is a damn good class, man. There's an equation that says high prices are not profitable. Why? Because of volume. You need volume when it comes to merchandise to make your price for make things to work. So what you do is instead of you focus on high prices, you work on changing your processes to bring the cost down to create a margin so you can be profitable, right? Do you know this story? I got two people I know specifically, and there's some other stories too. I can go on forever, but I'm not going to. I got two stories where I told people your prices are too high, actually. You know me, I used to say raise your prices. Your prices are too high. And when they were in the early stages, they was, hey, now give me some insight. Man, as soon as they got their first little win,
I'm hot.
Now they in the game, and they sit on the bench while everybody keep playing. Their uniform clean as hell. They don't even need to change uniform. They go to the same uniform for 3 games straight, right? And now they're looking around like, oh, I don't understand. It's so, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is great.
Yeah, real talk. Thank you, bro. Real talk. It's this shit happens all the time to a lot of our people. Because the thinking logically of the situation versus what is the best move doesn't happen. I told you guys that we got clipped hard last year by our factory. Clipped. Crater hit our company, almost debilitated it, almost killed it. Guess who I just sent a deal to, sent some product to? Them. Why? Because I did the math and it was the best decision in the moment. Fuck my feelings. You know what my feelings wanted to do? Go fly over there. Go do something to somebody. Right? Nope. I'm gonna conceal that. I'm gonna move that to the right for the best of the business. There's no disease. For the best outcome of the business. I won't say any names, but with my first company, I had an intern. This kid was a young kid, 16 years old, and he was just fanatical about what we did. He was a big fan, and he was the innocent climb kid, so nice, so humble, so much that we all as a staff fell in love with this kid. Let him intern. Come on. Stand next to me. I'll teach you everything I know. Oh, don't mess with him. No, this is my guy. You got a pass to go wherever you want. Just say I mentioned. Use my name. Right? So for 2 years he interned. And meanwhile, we end up closing. Our company crashed. The first company crashed. This kid takes all of our IP, a lot of our IP, and when he moved to LA and started a company with our IP. This company turned into one of the biggest athletic companies in the world right now. I'm not going to say. I ain't heard from this kid. I ain't heard from him since. I just hear the stories about how, who's this? He always stealing ideas, stealing this idea, stealing that idea. I'm like, disease of me. Bro, I got hot and used the same formula. It's disease of me. So is that scalable? After the hype cycle, it's not scalable. You can hit a hype cycle. But once you burn the bridges, people can sense that disease of me, and they just kind of don't want to be around you. It's kind of, I don't want to be around you. Because I have a feeling that I'm going to be on the wrong end of the stick in a situation with that person. Oh, shit. Okay, cool.
Hey, no, yeah, we let you go with two. It's kind of to be like, just let that one.
You feel me? So,
Just let it go. Just let it go.
come on. You know what? My brain passes over
trying to give
me.
you a pass.
I gotta go get some game from Cameron. Have him give me some pause game because I don't know how it go. But that's that real shit. Hey yo! All right, get it out the way. Yeah. Next slide.
Ego fractures teams and kills chemistry.
Period. Like, this isn't self-explanatory. Ego fractures your team. You know another word for ego in teams? Cancer. Mm-hmm. That's another word for that. So what you have to do when you take the me out of the equation in the team and put the team first, you create synergy and chemistry. It ain't about you. Your success isn't about you. Like, what's dope about that podcast, he was saying, the Bill Belichick podcast, and he was saying how the coaches always want a title and they want to be called this and they want to move up hella fast, when he was just a little ball boy, and then he used to clean the field, and then he did the other dumb thing and the other dumb thing. And you know what happens when you do all the little dumb things? You know how to do everything. In turn, you learn how to run the whole thing. Motherfuckers want to skip all the steps and go straight to the top. They don't know how to run nothing. But when you put the team first, then that allows the team to feel that the potential chemistry and potential synergy you bring to the table, and they want to work with you. They like you. They want to fuck with you. Like, I want him on my team. Who wants somebody on their team that shoots every time they get the ball, they shoot? Oh my God. Just fucking black hole every time you get it. Like, it's hard to beat a weak team with good chemistry. Weak teams with great chemistry beat amazing, incredible teams with bad chemistry all the time. All the time. You know, if you from the hood and you say you went to go play Marin, say Fremont High in Oakland went to go play Marin, and they like, oh, we got this. They look over there and be like, shit, we got this. And them boys light your ass up. Pass and shoot. Pass and shoot. And you want to shake and bake, and jump out the gym and show that you can jump high. Versus that chemistry, now it's 14-0. You haven't scored yet. And it ain't coming up out of that because now y'all arguing. This is that real shit. So imagine the opposite. When you have great chemistry and everyone have risen to being a great player. Unstoppable. Next slide.
2025 mindset. How can I serve you? Modern power equals contribution, not control. Asking this question builds relationships and real leadership.
How can I serve you is the question. I want you to move with that. The rest of 2025. How can I serve you? Who has children? How can I serve you? What's the best way that I can serve you, child? What's the best way that I can serve you? How can I serve you? If you're in a relationship with someone, how can I serve you? Best way that I can show up for you. If you have a business, how can I serve you? What's the best way that I can show up for you? Now, the beauty about asking how can I serve you, a lot of that revolves around you being the best version of yourself too. So it does include the best version of you. The how can I serve you? Because I don't want you want a raggedy ass version of me to serve you or the best version of me. So it includes you. But the question says, my goal is to walk away with you, to have everything that you came here for and maybe more. How can I serve you? That's not weak. That's strong. That's strong as fuck. That's the height. That's as much masculine as you can be. Like there's a thing about toxic masculinity and when you're the most masculine is when you are able to serve groups of people more than yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you're the most feminine, when you're able to serve more than yourself. Masculinity and femininity is about juncture and service. So the question that I want you guys to make your mantra, write it on the front of your books, write it everywhere, put it in your hallway at your job, company. Remind yourself, how can I serve you? It's not about me. How can I serve you? You are my demographic. I picked you to spend money with me. How can I serve you? If you say, if I make tincture with people with dreads, and you say, this don't have no smell to it. Can you make some with that smell good? Well, the scientific fact of it is, if you make it smell, then you lose some of the value in it. And I don't like any of the smells. My nose is real sensitive to smell. All right, well, you're gonna lose to somebody who have a better smelling version of what you're selling. Point blank, period.
I was reading an article from, I think his name is Arnaud, the person who's over at LVMH. And he talked about meeting the customer need that the customer doesn't necessarily know they have, right? Mm-hmm. So when you put that alongside what you were just saying, do you ever find sometimes when you ask customers that they don't really know, or they will say, we want this, but then when it comes to sales or something that's trackable, that's not really what moved y'all. So like sometimes can you get a false, number one, can you sometimes get a false read by asking and getting that answer? And number two, how do you align that with the value of creating products, services that meet the customer need before they perhaps know that that's what they want or need?
Let's talk about levels, right? There's levels to the shit, right? So is anything worse than a false read? No read. Right? So you first have no read. So most of us running around getting no read at all. If somebody said, I got a false read, I'd be like, damn, that's good. Good job. Because at least you tried to get a read. So, yes, are there customers who don't know what they want? Of course. But I will follow the steps up to the levels first. The first level is, let's get some reads and see what the reads say. Then maybe we get, the question is, because you can ask yourself the question, did I get a false read? Or was it a priming problem in my questions? Was it a framing problem in my questions? Was it an anchoring problem in my questions? So it goes back to what you can control. If it's a cop-out to say, I got a false read. But if I say, hey, do you like this, right? They say, yeah. Well, 10 out of 10 customers said they like it, but you anchored that like a motherfucker. You primed it like a motherfucker. You like this, right? Or even if you didn't, you say, what do you think about this? That's saying, I want you to like it. So is there a way that I can ask the questions that really can extract the truth out of my customers? It goes back to the control you have, because your false reads are your fault. Your false reads are your fault. Something went wrong in how you gather the data. Will there be false reads? Of course, but I want you to take full responsibility for them, which will improve and upgrade the value of your data. Because if you don't and just mark it as a false read, then you just abdicated full responsibility for it. When we got hella more control. You can remove yourself from the situation. You can find a secret shopper. You can do all kind of shit that can make the read better. You know what I'm saying? Now, the level above that is a level that's rare. You got to be good as fuck. 1% of motherfuckers walking around with that skill set. And that is knowing what people want before they even know it. You got to be in the pocket for years and know what the fuck's going on so well that you can see it coming before it happens. That's the world I'm in, is in apparel. Like, if I can't see something 6 months ahead, I'm fucked. If I can't see it a year ahead, I'm fucked. Especially how fast things go now. 3 months shit is not in style no more. So it's almost mandatory that you got to see stuff 6 months to a year ahead, because it takes 2 months to make. So you already lost 2 months. So you got to know that comes with 20 something years of experience. So Steve Jobs was the first one I heard talking about that. But you have to be so hardcore in the pocket to even think about playing that game. So the best game you can play, data collecting, and tweak your methodologies to try to make more accurate data collecting. That's what you can control. Then you get good enough 10 years from now, or 15, whatever industry you in, you'll get good enough. Then you might be able to play that game. Next slide. So this is the book we playing with. Ego is the enemy. So because I'm not going to run through the whole book from chapter 1 to the last chapter, I'm going to bounce around. So I'm just letting you know where I'm getting excerpts from the book from. Excerpts from. It's this book. Because we're going to run through this book pretty quickly so we can move on to the next one. But this is necessary. And it's a quick read. If you haven't read it, it's a great refresher. Next slide.
Ego says, I already know. I deserve more. I'm above this. It blocks learning and growth, and ego isolates us and sabotages progress.
I already know. I know. Damn, I just said, how? How'd you know what I was going to... Like, that's ego. Ego says, I know what motherfuckers about to say. When we don't know shit. So ego, it blocks learning and growth, because guess what? The person with the knowledge, after so many I knows, they just tired, man. I'm tired. I ain't got energy for this. All right, well, fuck it. If you know it, go. Let's not be that. Let us not be that. We shouldn't even let's not use the word I know. Ask questions. Ask questions to find out something you don't know. Play that game. If your brain says, oh, I know this, then say, let me ask some follow-up questions to see if I can figure out something I don't. Next slide.
Plus, minus, equals. Growth by surrounding yourself with plus, someone better than you, a mentor, equal, someone at your level, a peer, and minus, someone learning from you, a mentee.
This is a great balance for you that allows you to be humble, at the same time contributing, and at the same time allow you to be in the same space with somebody and trade secrets with somebody who's on your level. What that allows for is humility, friendly, healthy competition and sharing, and mentorship. And you get to reiterate what you know. That is your formula to prevent ego, because the someone better than you is going to always remind you, hey, young buck, you just hit 7 threes in a row. I hit 17 last game in a row. Damn, 17. Yeah. 5 games I've done it. How many games have you? I just won a championship. I got 5 championships, young buck. Damn. Okay. Put me back. I'm going to go back in my low box. And there's somebody like, man, you play in the NBA? That's amazing. Like, oh yeah, here's some game. And there's somebody who friendly, healthy. Next slide.
Ego avoids this balance. Growth demands it.
If you want to grow, that is your formula. If you don't, then yeah, stay where you at. Next slide.
The greats are humble. The best stay grounded no matter their status.
Now, this is some real shit. If you study the greats, I mean the people at the top, a lot of times they humble. And I've met some. Humble as humble could be. You never know. My mentor, one of my mentors, founder of North Face, you never know. The way he talks, you never know. Coolest, calmest Berkeley cat. Just a Berkeley cat who ain't changed. Just super smart and humble to the game. Taught me so much, didn't have to. Like I have a few billionaire people that I go to or that have mentored me in the past, and they so chill and so humble. The rah-rah shit you see is not real, it's fake. Most of the greats is humble. Now, yeah, you got your Michael Jordans. Yeah, you got your Michael Jordans and your Kobe Bryants. That's another level that you won't see. It's every 100 years type shit. But most of the greats at the top of their game, if you got in a room with them, I sat in a room and kicked it with Dave Chappelle. Man, the coolest cat. Kick back, lay back. So chill. Always learning. Teach me this. Most of the greats are humble. You got to follow that same formula. Be humble to the game. Nobody just owes you. You don't deserve. Nobody owes you shit like that. Now, last slide. We almost to the end. That's
humble to the world, understanding their part of something bigger, and the game continuing to prove themselves daily.
So there's humble to the world, humble to the game. So humble to the game means shit. There's so much to learn. You ever watch boxers? Like all that shit that they talk to preliminary sell the fight, that's just to sell the fight. They respect each other and they respect the game. Because they know that at any moment, when you're in a ring long enough with somebody, no matter how good you are, you can get knocked the fuck out. You could just blink for 1 second too long and catch an overhead right and you gone. So they have a respect for the game. They humble to the game. And that keeps you learning and scrambling and trying to go for more. Same thing when you humble to the world, you realize that it's not about you, it's bigger than you. And you're part of an ecosystem that is to connect with other people. All right? So we'll continue this next week. Peace.
Yo, that was. Hey, go back to that Pat Riley slide, the last one. Yeah. Okay. Actually, go forward. Go forward more. That one right there. You know, I had to try not talking all of his time, but these slides are so good. Here's a hack. When a customer calls, don't give them excuses, give them solutions. That's simple. Don't give them excuses, give them solutions. A lot of times when we're giving excuses, we're talking about protecting ourselves. But when you really are in the art of serving your customers, when a customer calls and has a complaint, I don't think about what excuse can I provide for them. Now, what often stops a lot of people from providing solutions over excuses is impotence. What I mean by impotence is not like personal impotence and not impotence like Paul's, but impotence in the sense that you haven't gotten your business strong enough, because it is important that you position in business, it's important that you save money and you want to have a surplus. Surplus allows you to control your strategy as opposed to money controlling you, right? Quite often when a customer calls you and you're financially weak, you're providing an excuse because you don't have strength. But one of the first things you want to try to get to is a point of strength so you can so you can serve your customers better. When you're a weak business, you undermine your ability to serve your customers. Because a lot of times you're living in a space of scarcity, which is a space of fear, which causes you to make decisions and respond to customers from that space. So as you're making money, you want to get a surplus where, let's say you can run your business 1 month, like runway. Well, how many months can you run your business with no profit? The more money you can get, more runway room you can gain, the better your customer service instantly becomes. Because you realize sometimes you have to spend money to protect the relationships and protect your brand. But when you ain't got no money, that's kind of a hard conversation to have. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where, yes, you must be humble, but I've seen, as the court was speaking, I don't want to sound pessimistic, but I said, how many people are going to actually do this, mm-hmm. right? Because court knows, and I know, the return on being humble is insane. And when you finally flip that switch, you're like, oh my God, serving and being humble and being about the we over me is huge impact. But so many of us are trapped in the system that we created or that we've fallen into that makes it very difficult for us to serve others because we in fear of our own life. We're so broke. It's like trying to tell a homeless dude to try to practice serving others, right? If you're literally, and here's the thing with living check to check. A lot of times you're not living check to check. What you're doing, some cases, it could just be bringing down your life expectations, and you can actually have a great life. What I mean by that, when I was working, in my first 5 years of running 510 Media, I remember I couldn't make more than $5,000 a month. I don't care what I did, I couldn't get past $5,000 a month. That I don't care. And $5,000 often covered my cost and left me a little bit of money to pay my rent. But I couldn't get past that. The best money I think I had in the first 5 years was maybe $7,000, right? And I was just like, whew, $2,000. We about to take the food this month, right? And it was so bad. I remember going to the grocery store and going, okay, just keep this number here, because if they go $1 over this, I'll be like, that old, like when I don't know if y'all came from the hood, but I did. My mom would be like, well, put this back here, go and put this back here. We don't need no milk. We can eat the cereal with just some water. We'll be okay, right? It's like, that's the world. I didn't want to return back to that, because that's how I grew up, right? That's how my whole life has been. And what I realized that when I was at that point of super poverty, a lot of my decisions was driven by, I didn't have money. So this is where it happened. So how did my life get better, and how did I gain power? So one month I got so irritated. I'm like, I'm so damn broke. I'm tired of being broke. I'm just so tired. Now, mind you, I'm in my early 30s, and and I'm like, all my partners is flossing, cash driving cars. I'm driving whatever I can get inside of, right? You understand me? The point is this, and pause me if you won't.
Hey, yo.
But I was driving the best I could, right? And then I realized, you know what I enjoyed the most? Playing dominoes and eating barbecue. Like, if you really want to say what makes you hella happy, it wasn't going out, because as a photographer, I get a chance to be at fancy restaurants. I think, I don't even care for this shit. And I would go to 5-star restaurants, and I'm like, that's cool. I mean, some of them are cool. Some of them are still too foo-foo for me. But if my boys came through and we playing some dominoes and the food is good, and I realized, what was the cost of that? Nothing. It was almost nothing compared to like the lifestyles. I had to wear Louis Vuitton or Gucci, or I had to drive a certain kind of car. I had to have a certain type of gold jewelry on, or I had to had to get my hair cut by this certain type of barber. And like, if you looked at the cost these cats was living in lifestyle, they had the ability to create a savings that would have made them rich to invest in great possibilities. But everybody was living up to this expectation that kept them from growing. And once I was able to simplify, so even to this day, anybody that hangs around me, my favorite thing to do is hang out with friends, play some dominoes, and eat some good barbecue. Now, maybe not with the sugar barbecue sauce now, because I have to let go sugar, but it's just being around good people, having good conversation. When we go on our retreat every year, it's some of the best time of my life. All we're doing is going to restaurants and talking, and playing some dominoes, and hearing Pastor Chris talk about how great he is, and he loses every game, and it's still the funniest thing in the world, because he may lose a game, but in his mind, he's always a winner. Am I lying? Like, don't let him win one game. We will not be able to go to sleep. But it's just one of those things where, like, by the way, Pastor Chris I had a great conversation with him today, great theologian conversation. I'm telling you right now, if you're Christian and you're questioning your position as a Christian, go join the Rock Church. I'm just gonna tell you straight up, that he's a cold piece of work. One of the most amazing pastors I know. And I'm talking about, I know him for real. I don't know him from a yes pastor, and I give him my church offering. I'm talking about, he's my closest friends. I have some brothers who are my closest friends, and he's like my brother. And I'm telling you, for somebody who's like behind the curtain, he's the same brother. The curtain doesn't close and he turns into somebody. He is the same brother. Yes, he's a man of agency, a man of strength, a man of power, but he's also a man of humbleness. He's also a man who loves others so much. Everywhere we go, he's always trying to bless people. It is the craziest thing. If you hang out with Pastor Chris for a whole day, if you want to see what a person who walks in giving blessings to others, Pastor Chris, that's all he does. Like, we at a restaurant, I wish you would give them a low tip. Pastor Chris be like, nah, I'm not doing that. He's just a different human being. Mm-hmm. But honestly, you have to get your business to a point. If you keep spending your savings, you're compromising your customer service. You have to create a savings. Especially if you came from poverty. Savings will change your whole. It gives you ability to have the freedom to practice these spiritual. These are really spiritual ideas he was preaching. These are very deep spiritual ideas, but it's hard to experience some of these spiritual ideas when your lifestyle's at threat, right? Even the we over me. Most of society doesn't talk like this. The whole social media is built upon a me. It's a me-based system. Nobody's talking about we on social media. Matter of fact, did you guys know that most activists are disguising their personal desires when they say what black people need or what Democrats need or Republicans need? Do you realize that most people who talk like that are disguising their personal thoughts and their personal needs and personal desires? They don't really care about you. They care about themselves. And if you don't know that, you'll think, oh, man, we can relate to each other. No, they're using you to grow support for what they think, what they want for themselves. This is why you can see these contradictions, how they can speak on this. You know, you'll see the super pro black dude with a white wife, but he's doing it because at the end of the day, he wants something from black people. And you're like, y'all didn't get that? Y'all didn't catch that, huh? Y'all didn't see how Don Lemon was showing up. Anyway, let's keep it going. Let's go on to the first slide. So real quick, you know, those of you, let's continue to support. We've received some wonderful donations, but please continue to support this class. This is for y'all. We built this for y'all. This is our giving because to us, our spirit would not be complete if we lived a selfish life. And so to be able to show up and provide this insight and share this game with you. When I say game, because I'm going to get into later on why that word is so accurate, but to share this game with you is not driven by looking for status. I promise you, I sit with the brothers, we never sit around and be like, yeah, this is going to make us hella popular or make us super fly. All we dream of is a community that gains agency. If our community gains agency, a lot of our problems change. A lot of and it increases our opportunities. We're not looking for perfection in the future. We're just looking for a better future. So with that being said, let's go to the first slide. So let me explain to you what's about to happen tonight. You ever heard this phrase? And let me know if you guys ever heard this phrase. It's a philosophical phrase, and it's almost every great culture has used this phrase, which is says that the seed of failure is sown by success. You ever heard that phrase before? The seed of failure is sown by success. That phrase in itself is a scaling phrase. A lot of us use the phrase scaling, but we're really trying to say growing. We're trying to grow our business. But because you don't understand scaling, without understanding the principles of scaling, it's like it's like sailing on the ocean without a map. If you don't understand scaling, you can you can engage in a lot of hard work. Your ship can move extremely fast and never discover your destinations. You'll find yourself, matter of fact, you may find yourself just going in circles to your death. And so scaling there's a lot of important decisions you have to think about and make. And there's a lot of changes that will happen. I was running the track the other day, and this white guy, he just, by the way, congratulations to him. He just beat prostate cancer. And we were talking about his wine company. And he's talking about how we were talking about navigating the economy and so forth and so on. And he made some comment that had to do with scaling. And I said, yeah, unfortunately it doesn't work that way. And he's like, I know, because scaling is not linear. And I think many of us think scaling is linear. It's just like we just stack it on one on top of the other, 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 and we're at the top of the hill. Scaling by no means is linear. Matter of fact, scaling is transformative, because as you scale, you can never be the same. And I'm talking about every aspect of your business has to be rebirthed, or a portion of your business has to die, and a new portion of your business has to be born in order for you to scale. So if you have this egotistical, going back to what Court was saying, passion for the way your business is running right now, your passion alone could prevent the natural progression of scaling, right? So scaling, I got into this really, because I realized I didn't really understand scaling when I started hearing about certain equations, and I started learning these equations and how they work. So then I wanted to come to class, and I realized if I brought these equations to class, I was gonna be like you guys watching C-SPAN for 3 hours. Everybody would be asleep. So I tried to write some structure to it, and then I went to ChatGPT and I said, hey, can you help me teach these ideas, but in a story format? ChatGPT says, sure. And so this is an attempt to turn scaling into something digestible, but to transfer ownership as fast as fucking possible. Last, this is not going to be all, this is kind of like the core scaling, but scaling has many branches. So there's many other rules that apply to it. But what tonight class is going to do is give you the basics, but in addition to giving you the basics, tune your ears to be able to hear scaling dialogue when it's happening around you. A lot of us can't even hear scaling when it's happening around us. So for example, if you understood scaling, most social activists would just drive you crazy because most social activists never take into consideration scaling. They're taking into consideration a single situation, not thinking about, but when this scales, does this keep society stable? Or does this work in our better interests, right? A lot of times you will hear when economists are on one side and let's say liberals are on this side, often the separation between the two is scaling. And scaling is an invisible principle that if you don't understand it, it doesn't make any sense to the brain. So with that being said, we're going to kind of flow through this first part. I'm going to stop. So at everything that's highlighted in these sentences are different principles, but they're baked into a story. This is all going to flow into one simple story. You guys ready to roll with me? Okay, you guys online, you ready? All right. Shakina, let's go.
No, I'm just reading from top to bottom, right?
Huh?
I'm just reading from top to bottom.
Yeah, from top to bottom. And I'll stop you every once in a while.
Okay. The story of Maya's magnificent cupcakes. Maya loved cupcakes. Baking was her passion, and everyone in school knew she made the tastiest cupcakes in town. One day, she decided she wanted to share her cupcakes with everyone, not just her classmate, but kids all over the city. Systems over individual effort.
So now, this is the first principle of scaling. Systems over individual efforts. Go ahead.
At first, Maya baked every cupcake herself, carefully icing each one. But soon she realized she couldn't do it all alone. She told her recipes to her friends so they could help. Baked together, they created a clear system, one group mixing batter, another baking, and another decorating.
So first thing is first. If you have a business, here's a basic rule. Fancy fails and simple scales. Fancy fails and simple scales. Meaning that when you first start a business, and once you decide you want to turn it into a business, you have to start to convert it into a simple, functional, scalable system. You cannot scale a business if you don't have a system. A lot of us want to scale businesses and we want to go straight into, well, this is what I want to do. So once you invest in me and I'm going to get, then I'm going to take this and then duplicate this. And then what I usually do is I got this complex system. And then of course, my knowledge and intelligence. No, your knowledge and intelligence has to go into a clear system. So without systems, you're not scaling. So if you say, I'm trying to scale my business and I can't identify your systems. And if I have to walk in your business and I have to decode your systems, or I have to decode your finances, then you're too fancy. It should be that somebody from the bank can walk in, read your ledger, read your paperwork, and go, okay, this is how your business runs. If an investor looks at your paperwork or looks at the way your business is ran, and they have to ask too many questions, it's not scalable. So many of us fail in front of an investor in the first stage because we're too fancy. All right, keep going.
Real world connections.
Next principle, real world connection.
Just like how McDonald's uses systems so every burger tastes the same around the world. Before growing, make sure your product, services works. Customers want it and your process is repeatable. If it's broken at 10 customers, it'll be chaos at 1,000.
Okay, couple things here. So when you're small, you have to be able to be so into your system of how things work that you know it is actually working, but you have to be able to put numbers to your system. Let's say you didn't pay attention to what it costs you to pick up your fruit. You didn't pay attention to the cost of the jars. You didn't pay attention to the gasoline that was used to drive to pick up the fruits. You didn't pay attention to the amount of time it used to get the fruits. You didn't pay attention to the amount of water you use when you boil the fruits down. You didn't pay attention to all the cost of all the ingredients, right? So when you first sell, you might think, well, sure, I made $5 a cupcake. But it cost you $5.02. Now when you scale, you just killed your business off because you scaled the business because you didn't have ownership of the efficiency of the system. Guys, get that point? So the efficiency of the system. Also, here's the other thing with efficiency. You don't get to create variation of experiences. So let's say you have a restaurant, and one day the burgers taste like this, but then the next shift, Pierre cooks, and then when Pierre cooks, the burgers taste like that. Your system is broken. If an investor sees that, nobody. If a bank sees that, anybody, you don't have anything that's scalable. So you have to be very clear and precise on what's the size of your numbers. So when you scale them, your numbers, your profit, your margins can actually carry some of the needs of your growth. Now, mind you, in addition to that, you should be always creating efficiency around your processes to continue to grow that margin, because as you scale, the margins will shrink. So as you're bringing down the cost of production, there's also with scaling the cost of growth, which at some point starts to balance itself out. So in the early stages, your first goal is, how can you make sure, one, you understand the absolute cost of all your actions, even the cost of acquiring a customer, the cost of acquiring a new customer, the cost of maintaining a customer, all these variables. If you're not very clear on what that is, and you scale your business, and you all of a sudden have to acquire more customers than you actually obtain, than you all currently have, you may not even have the money for that. So you have to know your numbers in the early stages, because when you scale, those numbers are going to become more and more relevant to your business. You don't just get to, like, oh, if I made $1,000 and I work hard, I get to 5,000. I work hard, I get 10,000. There's forces that says we get to 10,000, you got a cost that will go up to 3,000, so you went back down to 6,000 or 7,000. You won't see that. Why you won't see that is because scaling is not a straight linear thing. Keep going. Next principle.
Complexity and nonlinearity.
So complexity and nonlinearity is another principle. So this is your third principle I'm introducing to the story. Keep going.
As Maya's cupcake business grew bigger, things became complicated. As Maya's cupcake business grew bigger, things became complicated. Selling a few dozen cupcakes at school was easy, but selling thousands around the city, that was a different story. She needed delivery vans, bigger ovens, more storage, and even a website for online orders. Maya learned quickly that bigger didn't just mean more. It meant dealing with totally new types of challenges.
There you go. If you were to go from, say, 100 clients to 1,000 clients, none of your systems are designed to handle that. So there's a cost that goes with more people. Let's say even Pastor Chris goes from, say, 1,000 people attending a week to 3,000 people attending a week. That's a cost. Not only is it a cost, there's a level of complication. Meaning that the more your business grows, the more business becomes complicated. Let me say this again. The more your business grows, the more it becomes complicated. A simple ass idea of selling cupcakes is really cheap and simple as hell if you just sell them out your kitchen to like 20 people at the school. But if she gets to the point that she's selling 1,000 cupcakes a week, the complexity of that system and the things that could destroy, where she can actually make certain mistakes and cut into her margins, and at the end of the week she made no money at all. If anything, she's lost money in an area where she had a margin. So things become way more complex. All of a sudden, you find yourself having to buy these things and have to use credit, and you have to now have smart relationships with vendors and all these different, and then there's vendor requirements to even do business with them. So everything changes. It is not just more. More also equals less. Even matter of fact, more could equal the end of your business. Keep going.
Real world connections. Amazon once sold just books, but had to build a huge warehouse and advanced shipping systems as millions more customers joined.
So if you went to Amazon when they were just selling books, and you went to Amazon today, I don't care how big the book business got. You went to Amazon today, the complexity it morphs. It's not even comparable of what the level of complexity that Amazon is today. The staff, the amount of people that you would have to hire, and the different level of expertise that is required to grow that business, everything changes. So common sense and just figuring things out and going with your gut doesn't translate really well. Now, does it have its place? Yeah, it has its place. But as things grow, complexity grows with it. All right, next principle.
Resource allocations and prioritization.
Now, this is one of my favorite ones because this is the one where your ego hates this one the most. Go ahead.
Soon, Maya faced a tough decision. She had a limited amount of money and time. Should she spend it on fancy boxes, more cupcake flavors, or advertising? She realized she couldn't do everything, so she carefully prioritized, deciding to spend money first on the best ingredients and advertising to attract new customers.
So there's two things that's happening here, but I'm gonna just cover one at a time because I don't want to. If I throw too much together, you kind of lose the importance of each one. As you grow, you can't keep this everything. You spend money on everything that you think your business should be engaging. At some point, you have to simplify your business and narrow your investments. If you invest in multiple, okay, for example, let's say I'm in competition with Court. Say we're both running a clothing company. This is competition talk. Comparisons is different. This is where comparisons will fuck you up. So if I'm in competition with Court, my business is starting to grow. Do I want to be in a t-shirt business? Do I want to be in a hoodie business? Do I want to be in a shoe business? What's going to be my claim of fame? Where I'm going to put my money at? But if I put my money into everything, I can't compete with him because if he focuses on one area and I focus on everything, he'll smoke me because at some point he'll have market dominance in a particular area. As your business grow, let's say Pastor Chris, right? So let's say Pastor Chris when he had his church at the movie theater, and he could say, we're gonna have coffee, we're gonna have snacks, we're gonna have this kind of screen, we're gonna have these chairs. We may have some masseuse for the mothers who've been standing all day long or massage their feet. We're gonna have all these different things. Get to 2,000, 3,000 people, you gotta ask yourself, what's your most valuable investment? Because if you invest in all those things are scaling. And they're gonna scale to a point that they're gonna eat into your costs. And to the point that you can't compete. Now your business is mediocre because you divide your resources in too many different areas. So you have to be very clear as you grow, you gotta decide what business am I in and then narrow your focus on your investment. This is why it's easy for anybody to look at any company and go, they could be doing this. Every business could be doing that. The problem is the limitations of scaling and resources. So as you grow, you have to narrow where you will invest your money. Everything can't receive the same equal level of investment. But when you begin in the beginning, it does. It kind of does. It's like I'm gonna get some nice pans. I'm gonna get some nice products. I'm gonna have a nice kitchen for my cooking. On the proper stove. You can make all that investment, right? But as you grow, that all disappears. All right. Now, if you guys have any questions, just stop me. But I'm trying to go through this whole scaling, how you think about scaling and how everything, I'm trying to show you the changes that are built into scaling or how your brain has to embrace the process. Finish reading that slide.
Real world connection. Apple carefully decides whether to invest in camera improvements or longer battery life each year, focusing on what customers value most.
There's another thing. This is when, going back to what Kaja was talking about, where you have to be aware of what the customer wants. Because when you make that investment, it's not about what you want to do that you think you're not giving customers a gift, you're serving the customer. Be very clear. Giving the gift is still, I want to give this to you and I think this would be nice for you. You're missing the whole fucking point. You have to figure out, well, even customers care about cameras the most. So this processor, what can we do to minimum my investment on this? Make sure that camera's better. Or people care about batteries, so we're going to invest there. But they can't say we're going to invest in the whole. Do you realize the cost of reinventing a whole phone from scratch? I mean, even your vendor relationship, supply, the logistics that's involved, it is crazy expensive. So each iteration That's why as you grow your business, it's iterations. And in those iterations, you pay attention. Like if your customers say, man, we really like, say we got Shakina's gym. They like, she has 5 gyms. They like, man, you know what matters the most to us? Is the bathroom. And if Shakina went and bought a whole bunch of equipment and then gave them just a new faucet, she's losing her customers. She has to say, well, if my customers like bathrooms first, and I have this much money to invest, let's reinvent those bathrooms. Doesn't mean that she won't eventually move into other areas, but you don't get to equally say, okay, bathrooms, equipment, air conditioning systems, floors, windows, parking, da, da, da. She has to say, I have this much money. What's the best uses of my resources? And then make the best possible decision. That is a principle of scaling. So it is more focused investment over broad investment. It's more customer alignment investment over personal will and desire investment. That dies quickly as you grow. You might say, this is great. I think this will make my business really, really strong. Now the customer says it doesn't. She can have these high-end AI training equipment, and if all they want is better parking, she lost. She lost. That's how simple the game. As you grow, the game narrows. It's not broad, do everything for everybody. It's just not. There's no such thing. Next slide.
Marginal efficiencies decreases with scale.
Oh, go ahead.
Maya noticed something else surprising. Selling her first cupcakes was easy because everyone was excited. But after a while, reaching new customers was harder. She needed more posters, ads, and effort to attract every additional customer. The first customers were easy. The later ones were tougher and cost more.
Okay, so let me help you with this. When you grow your business, the first set of customers is the low-hanging fruit. They're pretty easy. Whatever idea you came up with, they were already asking for. You're in perfect alignment. So let's say you got 200 customers, but you want to get to 1,000 customers. Or let's say you had 700 customers, right? But you need 300 more. Those 300 is going to be, it's way more expensive than those first 700. Because now those 300 costs, you have to spend money in advertisement, and you have to convince them, you have to win them from others, you got to pull them from your competitors. That other smaller percentage costs more money. So let me explain this to you. If you have, let's say you're doing business and you're doing pretty well, and you're like, money's pretty good. I want to expand. Understanding what you just says, I want to spend money. This is again, if you want to expand past a certain threshold for every business, it's more expensive because those customers are not going to just be like, oh yeah, we've been waiting for you this whole time. Let's go. I'm ready to spend some money. Literally, once you decide you want to expand into a new market share, it costs money. You got to spend more money on marketing, more money on ads, more money on placement, more money on promotions. There is a cost for expansion. It's not like the market is just this wide open pool of people just waiting for you to choose me, and they just can't wait for them. Literally, the people you have at the beginning are the people that can see you. Do you realize the human brain can't even see you? There's customers right now that are in San Leandro, Hayward, Marin, San Francisco, Berkeley, that are your potential customers who can't even see you. And in order for you to access them, it's going to cost you some money. You don't get to access them by working really hard and providing good business and everybody loves me. And even when you say the phrase "everybody loves me," there's no such thing as everybody. Court is competing with other companies in this industry. Once he hits a certain threshold, it's going to cost him more to acquire new customers. He don't get to acquire customers the way he acquired customers down here. This group of customers, he can keep that one under that system. But to get to the point where he crosses over to that next level, it's going to cost you more money. And sometimes it will cost you more money than the customers you have. And there's depending on certain businesses will stop their growth because they realize the cost of growth will exceed the value of their business. That's a possible thing. And doesn't mean you can't change the business model that can actually have a better, that's more scalable. But if you have a bad business design and you decide you want to acquire more customers, it's too expensive. It's just too expensive. There's a cost. Acquiring a new customer right now might just put a sign in your window and go on social media and say, hey, I'm doing this thing over here, and people come through. But all of a sudden now, if you want to acquire a certain level of customers, it may require, now I got to spend some money and put my ads in BART. I got to put it on billboards. I got to put it along these certain ads. I have to build certain partnerships where my ads are sitting in these places. It may be that I have to go speak at certain areas. It might be partnerships with the people that I wasn't doing partnerships before. There's all these different options that start to cost you more money. So a lot of times we talk about scaling, but we don't realize scaling comes with more responsibility, more complexity. All right, finish that slide.
Real world connection.
Could you turn the mic up a little bit for me, Scott?
I could just.
Okay, bring the
closer.
microphone closer then. Yeah, okay.
Hello.
Yeah, there you go.
Real world connection.
There you go. Oh my God. I heard it felt like a mouse was reading for me. A little world connection. This is over here. I was like, what the? Down there you go. That's that voice I love to hear. Go ahead.
I don't want to be breathing heavy in your ear. You understand me?
Yeah, you're a woman. That's cool. No, Scott don't say that. If Scott talking about breathing heavy by your ear, by Scott, I'm gonna pause you, then hit you.
Lord.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real world connections. Netflix found it easy to get early subscribers, but had to spend much more money on advertising later to reach new customers.
Good. There you go. Next slide.
Scalability requires repeatability and standardization.
This is the one that gets on my nerves. Go ahead.
Maya learned that each cupcake had to taste and look exactly the same, no matter where someone brought it. She carefully wrote down her recipe, icing techniques, and even exactly how to package cupcakes. With clear instructions, anyone could bake perfect cupcakes every single time.